2 billion rands was looted from a hospital. This happens at a time where South Africa is facing a healthcare crisis. Patients lie on the floor with no beds, no medicine, no toilets. But here's the real scandal. The same people accused of this theft are the ones circulating drugs and destroying South Africa's youth. This is not just corruption, it's a moral collapse at the top of our society. Everyone already knows about the corruption which was uncovered at Tembisa Hospital. We have heard of nearly 2 billion or little above 2 billion which was looted through tenders and other irregularities. This has been linked to individuals who have been mentioned in the Madlanga Commission. The Madlanga testimony points at something deeper. It shows us a shadow state. That is a parallel state where politicians, cartels, criminals are one and the same thing. The people who are linked to this 2 billion looting at Tembisa Hospital are people who have access to ministers and other officials in government. And that allegation isn't far-fetched given the testimonies we have had so far in the Madlanga Commission. We hear about corruption all the time. Every day in South Africa, you wake up to a headline about corruption, about some ANC member who looted money somewhere in some department. So I believe most of us have become desensitized to corruption and its impact. We do not think much about it. We have gotten to a point where we're like, you just read the headline and then move on with your life. So today I want to move the conversation a little beyond corruption and critically examine the moral decay at the heart of these scandals. We'll also look at the cartelization of the state. Stay tuned. As I've already mentioned, we hear about corruption cases all the time. So this isn't isolated. Money is looted left, right and center in South Africa. But this case, this Tembisa corruption case, raises a moral concern. This 2 billion rands was looted in a hospital. This is happening at a time where many South Africans are dying in hospitals, not because their illnesses can't be treated, but because there aren't enough resources to treat them. The hospital environments are just unbearable. Some people who are seriously ill even prefer to stay at home and just not be treated at all, because they know that if they visit a public hospital, they'll probably lose their life because of the condition there. So this forces us to ask, what is it that these people, these corrupt individuals are doing with this money? What is it that they are so eager to spend this money on that they would not care that there are people whose lives could potentially be saved through that money that they are looting? Upon investigations, it was discovered that most of this money is used to buy luxury cars for these individuals. It's also used for sexual access and clubbing, which I'll probably get deeper into in the next segment of the video. Keep in mind that this includes individuals who are in government. So this is no longer a political crisis. It's a moral and ethical collapse of leadership. Money going to eat girls and clubs is not gossip. Most of us know that some of our ministers are about that life. These people not only use public resources for their own wealth, but to indulge in their desires without limits. That's a call for concern. When government officials reduce public money to personal pleasure, governance is bound to collapse. In his testimony at the Madlanga Commission, General Khumalo spoke of the Big Five. These are the 5 people who are at the top of this cartel's hierarchy. And amongst those people, it is believed that they are politicians. And in this cartel as a whole, there are different people from different departments, government departments. They have people in the judicial system, they have people in the police ministry and other departments. So this is a very sophisticated organization which has infiltrated critical government departments. They're able to control money, drugs, and even use state resources to transport and protect shipment. I know exactly what you're thinking. This sounds exactly like state capture, and you're probably right. I think it's state capture 2.0. I think that this is even worse because the state capture that we all know about, the Gupta state capture, was about corporations, but now we have drug cartels fusing with the state. That's something that only happens in movies. The same people accused of looting hospitals are allegedly the ones circulating drugs. So now you have double harm. They steal healthcare and then they poison the youth. On the video about the drug lab in Mpumalanga, I think I spoke a little more about the effects of drugs in an economic landscape such as the one we have right now, where young people are unemployed and do not have much to do. Young people in South Africa are susceptible to drug addiction because it obviously grants a quick escape. And addiction is known to thrive in societies where there is despair. Drugs become more of a way to cope. And so often we blame young people for taking these drugs. Of course, I think there's a level of accountability which has to be shifted to individuals, right? But here you do not only have individuals making bad choices, but you have a system which is literally profiting from destroying their futures. You have a system which is enabling young people, giving them access to drugs, easy access to drugs. Another thing which is worth talking about, which I think some people are talking about it but not seriously enough, is that these cartels will stop at nothing to protect themselves and cover their tracks. The whistleblower who brought to light this 2 billion looting at Tembisa Hospital was assassinated after exposing this corruption. We know about assassination attempts even on individuals who are supposed to testify on the Madlanga Commission. Just now, few minutes before filming this video, the CEO of Tembisa Hospital, who had been suspended, passed on. I didn't have much time to look into it, but it raises questions, man. I mean, this is someone who is supposed to testify. I believe, I'm not sure if the person was called to testify in the Madlanga Commission, but it's someone whom would have to appear in court in the future for these cases, and will probably give more leads to the investigation as to how many people were involved and who are those people, right? But it seems like this cartel will stop at nothing. The moment they perceive you as a threat, then it's chai, you're gone. So they protect themselves violently. And this creates a climate of fear and silence. I don't have a lot of subscribers on YouTube, but there are things I'm even scared to talk about, because even people who have state security, who are well known, protected, are getting deleted. It's a very dangerous time to be a whistleblower and a journalist. The more people see brave voices silenced, the less they believe that change is possible. So this isn't about individuals stealing money. It's a moral economy of looting, an entire network where politicians, business elites, criminal syndicates share the spoils. And the danger is, when society normalizes this, each scandal fades into the next and outrage becomes fatigue. We just become tired of repeating the same thing, reading the same headlines, watching the same commissions, seeing the same people appear in court without major consequences. This isn't just another corruption story. It shows us a scale of South Africa's moral collapse. These cartels don't just steal money. They steal healthcare, youth, even democracy itself. And the individuals forming these cartels happen to be people who have sworn to protect us. You have a former minister of police who is implicated in this, allegedly. Who is allegedly implicated in this. Well, he is technically. So how can a society function like this? When we have a drug problem, we're supposed to contact police officers. But it so happens that people in that ministry are the ones circulating these drugs.